In the heart of Manhattan, within the sleek confines of a bustling TV studio, the stage was set for what would become one of the defining moments of modern political discourse. Tonight, under the relentless glare of studio lights, President Donald Trump, known for his polarizing yet captivating style, was set to discuss one of his most contentious policies: tariffs. The host, Alex Jordan, was not just any journalist. He was a seasoned interrogator with a reputation for cutting through political rhetoric to the core of the issue. The Nation's Pulse, his nightly news program, was the battleground where policy met punchline, and tonight's guest was the master of both. As the cameras started rolling, viewers across the nation tuned in, not just to hear about tariffs, but to witness the clash of ideologies where every word could spark a nationwide debate. The studio was a hive of activity, the air electric with anticipation as technicians made final adjustments to the lighting and sound. The audience, a diverse mix of political enthusiasts, journalists, and everyday citizens, waited with bated breath for the fireworks they knew were coming. Trump entered with his characteristic swagger, his presence instantly altering the room's dynamic. His orange hair, sharp suit, and the ever-present smirk were in stark contrast to the studio's modern, minimalist design. Alex Jordan, armed with his notepad and a stack of research, began the interview with a question that had been on everyone's mind. "Mr. President," he started, his voice imbued with the weight of public scrutiny, "your tariffs on Chinese goods have been widely criticized as a tax on American consumers. How do you justify this policy when it's clear that the average American has seen an increase in prices for daily goods?" Trump leaned forward, a grin spreading across his face, the kind that suggested he was about to deliver a zinger. "Well, Alex, if you're going to start with the same old song, let's make this a duet, shall we? Tell me, where do you get your information from? The same media outlets that have been wrong about me since day one?" The audience chuckled, a mix of amusement and surprise at Trump's quick retort. Alex, momentarily taken aback, quickly regained his composure. "The data, Mr. President, comes from economic analyses, not just media reports. Studies have shown—" Trump cut him off with a dismissive wave. "Ah, studies. Here's a study for you. When I put those tariffs on, it was to bring jobs back to America. Did we not see manufacturing jobs increase, or is that part of the data you conveniently ignore?" Silence fell upon the room, the tension palpable. Alex, known for his relentless pursuit of truth, didn't miss a beat with his next question. "But at what cost, sir? The retaliation from China has hurt American farmers, leading to billions in aid just to keep them afloat." Trump's eyes gleamed with the thrill of the debate. "You see, Alex, that's where you miss the big picture. We didn't just give aid, we negotiated. And now we have the Phase 1 trade deal with China, the largest ever. It's about strategy, not just immediate gains." The conversation flowed into a rapid-fire exchange, each question met with a retort filled with Trump's characteristic flair. But it was when Alex brought up the impact on small businesses that the interview took an unexpected turn. "Small businesses, Mr. Trump, have struggled with the increased costs. How do you reconcile that with your claim of economic prosperity?" Trump, with a twinkle in his eye, responded, "Listen, Alex, I love small businesses. I've been one. But let me tell you something. When you're in a negotiation, sometimes you have to take the hit for the bigger win. It's like poker. You don't fold at the first sign of trouble. And look, we've seen growth, historic lows in unemployment. And those businesses, they've adapted, they've innovated." Alex paused, his pen hovering over his notepad. The audience was silent, captivated by the exchange. Trump leaned back, his point made, or so he thought. But Alex, regaining his footing, asked, "But isn't that a risky gamble, Mr. President? What about the businesses that couldn't adapt?" Trump's response was quick and sharp. "That's life, Alex. Not every business can be a winner in every policy. But overall, America has won. And remember, those tariffs were a message. We won't be taken advantage of anymore." The host, momentarily stunned by the candidness and the sheer audacity of Trump's economic philosophy, found himself at a loss for words. The audience, sensing the shift, burst into applause, not for agreement but for the sheer spectacle of the verbal sparring. As the interview continued, Trump's confidence seemed to grow with each response. He used anecdotes from his business career, references to his art of the deal, and even a few jabs at the media to frame his tariff strategy as not just economic policy, but a statement of national strength. When Alex brought up the broader implications on global trade, Trump didn't shy away. Global trade? Look, I believe in free trade, but it has to be fair. Before me, it was a one-way street. Now we've got deals with Mexico, Canada, and even the EU is coming around. We're making trade work for America again. The discussion veered into the realm of international relations when Alex questioned the impact of these tariffs on America's allies. Aren't we alienating allies with these aggressive trade policies? Trump's response was characteristically blunt. Allies? Only if they treat us fairly. We've been too nice for too long. Now, we negotiate from strength, and that's how you get respect. Look at NATO. They're paying more because we asked them to. That's leadership. The interview was a masterclass in Trump's style of engagement, where every question was an opportunity for a narrative spin, every critique a chance to reaffirm his stance. As the segment neared its end, Alex, with a mix of frustration and fascination, asked one final question. Mr. President, with all due respect, isn't there a risk that these policies could lead to a trade war? Trump's final retort came with a smile that could only be described as triumphant. We're not in a trade war. We're in a trade negotiation, and I'm winning it. The studio lights dimmed as the audience erupted into applause, divided between those who were entertained, those who were outraged, and those in between. The interview had been a spectacle, a testament to Trump's ability to command attention, steer conversation, and perhaps most notably, leave even the most prepared journalist momentarily speechless. But the discussion didn't end there. Alex, sensing an opportunity to delve deeper, pressed on. Mr. President, critics argue that these tariffs are short-sighted, that they could hamper long-term economic growth. How do you respond to that? Trump, undeterred, leaned in. Short-sighted? Let me tell you something about vision, Alex. Sometimes you have to look beyond the immediate horizon to see the sunrise. We're not just talking about the next quarter's earnings. We're talking about decades of American prosperity. Those critics, they're stuck in the old ways, the old deals that left America at a disadvantage. I'm making new deals, better deals. Alex, now visibly intrigued by Trump's perspective, circled back to the consumer. But what about the immediate impact on Americans who can't wait for these long-term benefits? Isn't that a concern? Trump's response was laced with a mix of empathy and pragmatism. Of course it's a concern, which is why we've implemented support mechanisms. We've given farmers aid. We've seen tax cuts that put more money back into people's pockets. We're not blind to the immediate effects, but we're also not blind to the opportunities we're creating for the future. The conversation then shifted to the global stage, with Alex questioning the geopolitical ramifications. Mr. President, how do you see these tariffs affecting our standing on the world stage? Trump's answer was both a boast and a strategic vision. We're resetting the balance. For too long, America has been the world's piggy bank. Now we're showing that we play by our rules, not theirs. It's not just about economics. It's about respect. And believe me, respect is something the world is starting to give us again. The interview had now moved from a point of contention to one of strategic discussion. Alex, perhaps sensing the shift in tone, asked, "And what about the future? Are there plans to adjust these tariffs based on how negotiations evolve?" Trump nodded, his expression serious yet optimistic. "Everything is on the table. We negotiate. We adapt. If countries come to the table with better deals, we'll adjust. But the core principle remains, America first. If we're strong, the world benefits." As the interview neared its conclusion, Alex reflected on the broader implications of Trump's policies. "Mr. President, your approach has certainly been unconventional. Do you see this as setting a new standard for American trade policy?" Trump's closing statement was both defiant and visionary. "Absolutely. The old way was broken. We're setting a new standard where America isn't just in the game, we're leading it. And this isn't just about trade. It's about how America interacts with the world. We're not just participants. we're leaders. The interview ended with the audience giving a standing ovation, not necessarily out of agreement but out of acknowledgement of the performance. Trump had not just defended his policies, he had framed them within a narrative of American resurgence, leaving viewers with much to ponder on the implications of his administration's approach to global trade. This encounter would be remembered not just for the policy discussion but for how Donald Trump, with his characteristic bravado, managed to turn a potentially hostile interview into a moment of political theater. It was a reminder of his ability to control the narrative, even when under the microscope of liberal scrutiny. Alex Jordan, while not admitting defeat, had certainly been given a taste of Trump's notorious debate style, one that thrived on turning the tables and capturing the audience's attention. And so the night ended with viewers left pondering not just the merits of tariffs but the art of political discourse, where wit, timing, and confidence could sway public perception, even if just for a moment. The spectacle had not only highlighted the complexities of international trade, but also underscored the enduring power of personality in politics. It was a lesson in how policy debates can become performances, where the message is as much about the delivery as it is about the content. Thank you for watching till the end video. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends too. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories.